We're starting.
Wait,
we're
starting or we're making a video?
We're making the video.
Hello.
With our fancy new stand.
Wow.
I'm too short. I'm too short. There we go. My sweater.
Oh yeah. Check out her sweater. Puppy.
Balls on my boobs.
That's not the first time you've said that.
It's not.
How are you doing?
Hi. Oh, that's really. Hi.
So we're
So, John's very hungover this morning.
yes.
Even though I'm the one that looks like a complete mess.
Brian, are you hungover too?
A little bit. I'm okay though. I didn't really get that drunk.
Well, we are recording episode 139
I don't know. I don't.
momentarily.
She doesn't count.
She's a woman.
Numbers.
She doesn't have status. So,
There was this woman on NPR last night when I was driving home, and she kept saying obligatory instead of obligatory.
whenever I watch MMA and they call it a, what do they call a guillotine choke instead of a guillotine, it always makes me mad.
You know, every time anybody says MMA, all I can think about is MMF. So anyway.
Okay, guys, so here's a review that we got from Greg on iTunes. It's 5 stars. It's titled, I've Got Something to Say, and he says, I intend to be long-winded, so here it goes. First, the easy stuff, great chemistry between the hosts, which holds up through changes including long-term shifts on the show and week-in, week-out absences, and that's directed to you. Second, this podcast is a great mix of place and time with global perspective. They own the fact that they're based in Dallas, Texas. I love that, but they cover topics and ideas from all over. Third, even aside from topics, the hosts themselves bring an interesting mix. It seems like the age range may be the least varied. That's not true. You're old.
I'm like 4 years older than you.
Oh, really? How old are you?
He's 40.
Yeah, you're more than 4.
How old are you?
31. But it's not like you're like 50.
How old are you, Danielle?
Yeah. So our age range is 28 to 40.
Outsourcing, earth raping,
We had all the different
Oh, where was I?
We're by acting.
There are
Brian's got the 5-year-olds.
That's true.
Okay.
listening to
Sorry.
this
Go
review.
for it.
There are podcasts that I've relied on in the past to either dive deeply into topics both mundane and taboo or cover the weird news of the day. My favorites in those fields are now defunct. I've recommended in the past TW and I don't know what this other podcast is. I'm so pleased in how Secretly Timid covers both these elements. It will never stop me from missing those other shows, like old friends from a hometown I rarely visit, but finding new friends is the very best way to move forward. So using my long-held mantra, life's an essay test, we're obliged to give essay answers. Here's an intentionally detailed and specific recommendation for Secretly Timid with all the stars for the scales that the scales provides. It has many of the things I love all in one place: strong opinions, humor, music, a broad enough perspective including points of view I don't hear at the water cooler or the small group at church. The ironic show title and a rockin' theme don't hurt either. That, and they give themselves permission to speak freely, parental advisory, which is why I use headphones when I'm not in the car. Give this one a try, seriously. It isn't the definitive word, perhaps, but Secretly Timid has much to say. There, I said it, and 350 words or less. That's very nice. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. I wish I wasn't hungover right now when I read that, because I don't feel like I read it.
You should share us with your church friends.
Yes.
You're gonna need to give me some direction. I can't do this shit cold.
Well, what are your hopes for today's show?
I hope that we can get into a lively discussion about one of the topics that's
That's hot.
I can't wait to
One
talk
of the-
about
one of
male
the topics
privilege
is hot.
with John Lee Hart. It's my favorite.
Okay, so we're gonna record. You know what this reminds me of? What was that? that show, that 70s show, when they swing it around and they're all getting
Oh,
high.
yeah,
That was
High.
really good.
Yeah.
That was like an innovation.
So we're gonna
So
record
all
now.
we need is a J.
Bye, guys.
And everyone just thinks you're grand. It is my mission to destroy.
Oh, shaky.
Are we going?
We're done.
Earthquake simulator.
The Earthquake Simulator.
Oh, you just scared the shit out of Delilah.
Sorry, Delilah.
So, we just finished. I'll get over there, too.
She turned from
Yeah,
Right.
now we can all be in the
Can
video.
all be in it. Yay.
We have a fancy new tripod.
So we just finished episode, I think it's 139. What'd you all think?
Would it be in the naming it Merry Christmas Thunder?
Merry
Yes.
Christmas, Thunderdome. Because we don't need another hero.
And my hair's big.
Like Tina.
Yeah.
So what'd you think? What did we talk about?
And you have nice legs like Tina, I guess.
It's true. I had dancer
Apparently that
legs.
was the topic of conversation at the party last night. I was not privy to it, but
Oh no. Well, we talked about squeezing boobs.
We did talk about squeezing boobs.
We got a lively discussion on gay identity
Yes.
issues.
we did. That's true.
And we talked about rape.
Right?
When do we
Male
Like,
have
when do we
it?
not talk about rape and male
And
privilege?
guns.
Basically the same episode, just last week.
I tried really hard to get a story that wasn't about that, and then I still got a story that was about that.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Because no one wanted to talk about genetically modified fish. So
That's-
if you want to talk about genetically modified fish, write to secretly.com.
And she means like real fish, not...
Yeah,
Not like
genetically
fish
modified
for your kids.
fish that the FDA has approved to be
Yeah.
fed to you and your children.
Yeah,
I don't
not...
know how I feel about that though. Like I don't know that I'm against
I just
it.
don't know that there's been enough. I don't know. It could go really bad. They could end up turning into Godzillas and.
And eating out of your stomach and then just
I
like
don't think
coming
Godzilla was a
through.
fish. I think he was
Well,
a
he
lizard.
might have been a fish
of some
originally.
sort.
Have you ever heard of evolution, Brian? I know you're
I've not.
raised Pentecostal,
I've
but
not
there's
heard
this
of
thing
this.
called evolution.
What does this consist of?
You used to be a fish.
Don't show your
Happy
hand.
holiday.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Christmas sweater.
Christmas.
She's showing off her boobs.
My mom is showing off.